Hi and welcome back to Phoenix Crypto. My name's Andy. I just want to give a little bit more of a rundown of what's going on with Bitcoin since my last stream, which was only a few hours ago. A little bit crazy to think, it was only a few hours since I streamed, but it's been a busy few hours. Let's just get rid of this for a second. So. When I streamed a few hours ago, we were looking at coming down go down to a 30-minute chart. We were looking around here, and I think it was probably within an hour of the stream. We broke down reasonably quickly and tested the support here, pretty much as I predicted. Still felt there was room to come down at that point. There clearly was, and we've had a nice reaction back off that again. And actually, this is fairly textbook price action behavior. You see the bounce off the support. It's actually broken straight above the line of resistance, come back, retested, bounce back up again. In the time that I actually decided to do this this extra video, and actually setting up and doing it, we had the 4-hour close and the new candle. If I just switch to 4-hour, you can see here in the corner, the 4-hour candle's been going about 13 minutes. In that time, it has already tested that level of resistance and rejected straight off it and come back down again. Quite incredible. A little bit surprising for me. Wasn't quite what I was expecting. However, I did post to my group probably about an hour ago what did I think was going to happen. I'll go back to the 30-minute chart again. I thought we would come back down and retest this, which we did. I thought we would go back up and test that, probably not quite as rapidly as we just did there, but that was what I was expecting. And then really it was one of two things. Are we going to reject off there and come back down, or are we going to break through? Certainly, I think it's far too early to say. The one thing that gives me a glimmer of hope, and I'll swing back to the 4-hour chart and I'll bring up Market Cipher. Lovely green dot here. Okay, VWAP has breached the zero line. Money flow not looking so good, but you generally try and long when it's red, you short when it's green, right? So when it's up here, when everyone's buying in, you need to be selling, and you can't just pick any moment in its green. You have to pick those moments. But when you do, you can get, really good trades. So, this is certainly cause for optimism. If I go to the higher time frames, you can see the VWAP here hasn't quite broken the zero line, but it's pointing in that direction. Further upward movement, I think, and we can be hopeful that we will continue up. So, that's certainly positive. If I just do a quick trend line, that's not a trend line. If I just do a quick trend line here, we'd expect a green dot to be printed here. That's clearly upward momentum. So certainly positive. If we look at the 8-hour, I've drawn this line. Actually was on based on the 12-hour, but you can see it here. You can see that momentum going up quite nicely, very nicely in fact. 12-hour, I wanted to see that trigger wave form. Hasn't done it yet, and you can see on a 12-hour there's still quite a lot of room to go before we head back up again. So this upward movement, if I go back to price action, it's nice, positive, don't get me wrong. I don't think we're out of the woods yet. Still waiting for the 12-hour to really tell us. And obviously we've got a few hours left to go before the daily close, so that'll be the next 12-hour candle. The daily will update, which you can see here. We just zoom so make it nice and clear. The daily here, 17 on the DBSI, not looking so healthy. If I just open up the market cipher and zoom a bit more, that's clearly got much more to go. I mean, you can see it's taken, well, that's 1 day, so you're probably looking at another 2 days, end of the weekend before I think we can get that VWAP coming back round. Do I think we need it? Absolutely. If I look to the big move at the beginning of October, you can see here that VWAP, really important, and that really drove that huge price surge that we had, which went from around 40k right the way up to 60, fairly quickly. So we need a little bit more. It's going to take a bit of time. What I would be very interested in is the steepness of the angle of the curve as it curves back round. Would it be quite gentle like this, or would it sharpen up and point up quite quickly? If it does that, could I see it looking? I could see it looking pretty positive in the next couple of days, and it might be that we never really quite form the trigger wave that I wanted on the 12-hour. Maybe that doesn't quite happen. What might happen is like a green dot over here or something, which a bit like this. It's probably not the best example, but you can see what I mean, where the wave is still carrying on, and then we get a slight upsurge. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But on the 8-hour, I would turn and say this is very positive momentum, really positive. We'll see. It doesn't feel that this trigger wave really has finished forming. So even though we might be trending up at the moment, there's still quite a lot for it to do yet. So I think if you're looking for a clear indication whether to go long or short, I think what I would turn and say is if we're watching this, relatively close to when it goes out, long. Absolutely, but treat it as a scalp, and I can do a video about some good practice around risk management, which every good trader should do. But the main thing is that I think to treat any long right now as a scalp. Will it turn into a swing trade later on? Possibly. I'm not going to say that it's not. Of course it can, and that's what we all hope. But I don't think, particularly on those higher time frames, I'm talking the 12-hour and the daily, I don't think it's definitive enough yet to turn around and say we're absolutely going straight up. I don't think that's clear at all. The weekends tend to be more volatile. Some people don't like to trade on the weekends simply because of the volatility. I think personally, I think the weekends are fine to trade. I think the main thing is the good quality analysis. If you're reasonably consistent, you can read what's going on. You can trade. What people don't like is when market dips, typically, and the reality is that some people don't feel as comfortable shorting the market, and particularly in the bull run, they prefer to long. And I totally get it. I really do. However, just in the last week. If I go back to like an hourly and zoom this up, I made some great profit going up here, on Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin in particular, actually. But I made probably just as much on this downward movement. And again, on this movement here, probably netted across, I think 3 or 4 trades, about 1,000%. Gain. I've had a couple of scalps as a trade that was shared in my group with 9 take profit points. All of them hit in 4 hours or less. So there's definite opportunities here, but you can't ignore the fact that these market dumps, while they feel quite violent, and it's not very comfortable when you get caught in a long and the market's dumping around you, but if you can improve the way that you read the market and improve your technical ability to read charts and analyze, they are hugely profitable. And if you're only longing, they are a missed opportunity. And actually, it's the one of the quickest ways to make money. These drops, and we get a few of them. If I go to a 4 hour, you can see some great moves down, and they tend to be quite quick. It can take a bit of time before we range up, but these moves down, they're normally quite a violent reaction, and if you're able to time your entries, they are hugely profitable. I'm not going to look at any of the coins. This was a very quick update just to turn around and say, following the previous video where I was saying, look, we're going to come down, I wanted to put out another one to say, look, not convinced we've hit the bottom, but we've certainly had a reaction. Short-term scalp, long-term still a bit up in the air at the moment. And we need to see how things play out probably over the next 2 or 3 days, and I think we'll then get a much clearer picture. So I'm going to sign off here. Brilliant, thanks for watching, and if you enjoy the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tune in again soon. Thanks.